Hello, everyone. Welcome to LexTalk World Talk Show presented by Clickaway Creators. Today, we have Chiara Tramutoli with us. Chiara is the Legal and Business Affairs Manager at the luxury fragrance brand Creed in London, providing tailored legal advice across the business and with an active role in implementing the vision and strategy of shareholders and senior management, if I'm correct. Chiara has over 10 years of experience as a legal advisor for the luxury industry across Europe, and before that, she was also in Italy and then Spain, and she has traveled a lot in the Europe region and scattered her practice a lot. So we'll learn more about her, but without further ado, let me introduce you to the lady herself. Hi, Chiara. How are you doing?
Hi, Sagar. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm
I'm
doing
very
very
good.
good, very good morning.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you so much.
It's all mine. Thank you very much. And as I said, I tried my level best to get things for you, for our viewers to understand initially. But it would be great if you can put things in perspective. I mean, my first question would be, it would be great if you can, put an introduction about your journey as a legal professional and tell us about what changes you have appreciated in the legal professional since you started your journey until now.
Sure, of course. I started my career 12 years ago, actually in the music industry. But then after this first experience, I've focused almost exclusively on the fashion industry. So I've worked for a few years in private practice where I've advised some of the main Italian luxury brands. And then after that, my next position have been with luxury brands such as Pronovias before and now Creed. So if you ask me the changes that I've appreciated in this year, let's say, I've seen a growing consensus of consumer about more sustainable business, more ethical business, which indirectly this has affected, of course, the role of the legal counsel. So nowadays, the in-house legal counsel, especially when the role is merged with the compliance, I think they are fundamental now to build what's the value of the company on the market for this reason. I mean, this is especially evident, for example, in listed companies, because you can see reflected immediately in the price of the shares. But I think that nowadays also small and mid-sized companies need to fight for their reputation with the consumers. So yeah, I think, for example, let's say before, when I started working, like procurement policies for selection of suppliers were very basic. There was a tender of 3 similar suppliers, and you basically picked the cheapest option for the same level of services. Now it's not like that anymore. Suppliers are required, let's say, to share your same ethical values, if that makes sense. So we have a code of conduct that the supplier must warrant to comply with. And this does not only apply to suppliers, let's say, for product or material, which is the most obvious thing, but also for marketing, for legal, for finance suppliers. So I think this is the main change that I've seen, and I think that I've taken good steps. I understand that there is a risk for companies sometimes being accused of greenwashing, but I think that we are moving in the right direction. I think it's definitely better than it used to be when I started working, and I mean, it's still better than nothing. So yeah, I would say this is the main difference I've seen in my journey.
Brilliant, brilliant. I mean, very rightly said, people are now very conscious about sustainability of the product, of the organization, and the complete supply chain and the ecosystem of it. When it comes to the luxury brands or your industry, if I may use that word, uh, our viewers would be really happy to learn about a main issue that you have dealt in your industry, and if you can describe the complexity and tell us more about how you basically approached it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think for companies in the fashion industry, especially luxury, the first issue is and will always be to protect the brand. So first of all, of course, in terms of reputation of the brand, and if we talk about luxury, also the exclusivity of the brand, because luxury means not easily available, obviously. So the main legal issue, or the two main legal issues that worry, let's say, the industry that I can think of are how to protect your intellectual property and how to protect the exclusivity of the distribution rights. Because, I mean, of course, all the brands have a vast trademark portfolio and they have first-class partners in every country. But obviously, this is not enough because then practically everybody is fighting counterfeiting and parallel imports. You know, probably you know the gray market makes every year billion of losses in terms of revenues, due to the price difference. And that obviously impacts a lot what's the brand equity. There is a significant reduction in the brand equity. And for the luxury sector, I think this is even worse because of the distribution via the wrong channels, which make luxury products available in, like, let's say, big retail outlets. So this is, even more exacerbated, let's say. I mean, how to approach the issue is not a secret. Most brands have systems of trademark protection in place. They probably have a system of online brand protection for the surveillance of the internet. I'm talking here about marketplaces, social media, of course. I mean, we get constantly alerted by the local customs about the import or the export of our product by unauthorized dealers. So we get to seize and destroy as many as possible. But this is, how can I say, this is a constant battle. The war is never ending. So there is never the end, you see. Companies are constantly fighting this type of infringement. You take down a website, the next day another is open with the same content. So it's a constant battle. Probably, in my opinion, the problem is exactly this, that this is still seen as a problem of the legal department. While the solution maybe would be trying to educate the customer about the danger of buying from unauthorized sources, or provide, for example, the key identifier that can help them distinguish between fake and the real product. But this would be like a long-term process. It's a lot of investment, so I doubt I will see the result during my career, during what's left in my career. So I suppose in the meantime, we'll just continue with cease and desist letter, and we'll try to fight every battle and try to mitigate the damages.
Thank you very much for giving me, for putting things in perspective for me, and it was really beautiful, Chiara. My next question that I have for you is, the pandemic also, I mean, it went across the globe. So the pandemic saw many companies begin moving towards remote employment and availability. What do you think? Is this sustainable and a possible way to increase access to the job market, in your opinion? What do you think about it?
If I have to be honest, before I was very skeptical that the so-called working from home would last after the lockdown. But now I must say that I was wrong. Like I see in my company, for example, and it's not only my company, it's more a general thing. We have total flexibility. I mean, of course, you are required to be in the office when it's needed, but otherwise really up to you. And it really makes a big difference. I mean, especially London, where I'm based, that is a big city with long distances. Commuting is horrible. So it really improves the quality of life. So if you ask me if it increased the access to the job market, I'd say probably yes. Because, people used to move to London or the main city in their country to get better opportunities or better conditions, so like maybe more salary or maybe a promotion. But there are people that are not willing to relocate, or they are prevented to relocate for maybe personal reasons. So of course, with remote employment, they are not interdicted anymore by these impediments. So now people can really work from another country, really, if they want. So I would say in this sense, yes, it's a way for candidates to get a better access to the job market. But let's not forget that this works both ways. So company can find also the best talent that is not necessarily in local, let's say, and have access to a bigger spectrum of candidates for the position. So it's also beneficial for companies. So yeah, that's it. Let's not forget that it's also a good way for company to get a better access to talent as well, not only for candidates to the job market. So yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely sustainable.
It works both ways. That's what you say.
Yeah.
Brilliant. This pandemic also ironically brought a lot of tech disruption in every field, even in the legal technology field. So now in the era of legal technology, I believe you must be also using some tools. So what are the most commonly used tools for you?
Nothing crazy, really. I suppose the same as everybody. I mean, at least for legal counsel, I'm talking about legal counsel. So, of course, the virtual meeting platform, like we're now, so Zoom, before I used Skype for Business, now Teams. And then I think we all need a good legal management system. But these tools are not, they are more than just an asset just for legal. Let's take Teams, for example. So virtual meetings obviously save travel money, but no traveling also means less pollution. So the environmental impact is mitigated as well. So like which I was saying before, if this is properly communicated, can help increasing the value of the company. As for the legal management, for example, those of us that have some years of experience already, we all remember the archive, which was this room full of documents, kilos and kilos of paper, more or less cataloged. And paralegals and legal secretaries were needed to make head and tails of all this legal documentation that was stored in there. Now the new generation, I mean, even probably you won't remember these, younger don't remember, I've never seen that. So now, for example, every contract is on the systems. So you get alerts for renewals, all the terms are schematized. This means that lawyers don't need to translate the legalese, which is the legal language anymore, like we used to do before, that we used to translate the contract for, for sales, for marketing. And the same is not only contract, this is also for legal documentation, incorporation deeds, the article of association, minutes of the meeting when it's necessary, or for example, all the leases of our offices or our store, it's all in there. So it really saves a lot of time. And then again, here there is an environmental impact because the amount of paper that we are saving is incredible. In my company, we only have one printer for the whole company. Like even signature now are collected electronically. So really, there is not only in using this technology, there is not only the obvious advantage, that is the first thing, but I think it goes to a next level of benefits for the company. So yeah, I think, and as I was saying, I mean, at least for me, it's nothing crazy. I don't use advanced technology, but if we think what level it can get, I mean, it's amazing. It's great for the value.
From the rooms full of archive files to having one printer in office, as you said, to the cloud services, and even the signatures are digital now. So they've come a long way from the classic way of handling things. That's wonderful, and that also saves a lot of time. And if I also talk about time, my next question and my last question actually was based on that. They say time is money in any profession, and in legal, it's most of all. So, how do you ensure to make the best of time of your external, legal advisors?
This depends on the advisor, depends on the relation we have with them. So, for example, in my case, with the IP lawyers, we are in daily contact. So I try to keep them updated on, for example, the marketing strategies of the company, or the performance. I mean sales performance. So I try to keep them updated in advance, so they can sort of anticipate our need. And we are constantly in contact. So we have a data room to store and share company documents. So we are all aligned, and it's almost like if they were part of the company. Then it's different for ad hoc advisors. Of course, it's different because, as you said, time is money. So it is important for me to make the best of their time when they work on our cases. The only way to do that is having a fluid communication between all the parties that are involved. So, for example, I make sure that the other department that are involved, which can be, let's say, marketing, sales, finance, customer service, understand exactly what they need to do and are quick to provide what's required from them. So they do not stop or delay the procedures. Because which is pretty obvious, but if you think about it, the truth is that sometimes the extra legal fees that you get are due to a lack of, let's say, proactivity from the client. So I think this is what I try to avoid with my role, avoid any stalls, so we don't get extra legal fees due to our luck. That's it. That's how more or less I try.
Thank you very much for for giving us your time, and this was a lovely discussion. But before I leave you on your own, for our viewers, where can they get a hold of you? Where can they find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. If you drop me a message, I will be happy to answer you anytime.
Wonderful. So as Chiara said, we'll put Chiara's LinkedIn in the description so that all the viewers can get a hold and get some more knowledge out of her. And thank you very much. Thank you so much for sharing such great insights with us, Chiara, today. We of course look forward to having a chat with you again in the future on some other trending topics in the international legal industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sagar. Have a good day. It was
You
a
too.
pleasure
Pleasure's all
talking to
mine.
you.
Pleasure's all mine. Pleasure's all mine. Thank you very much. And for our viewers, if you like this chat with Chiara, please make sure that you like this video, you share this video, and also subscribe to ClickAway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do. And you have more coming in from legal industry leaders. This was Sagar for Let's Talk World signing off. Thank you very much.